Hey everybody, Kimosabi here. Giving you a little wave update, seeing what I see. Got a lot of sideways chop. Some productive action going on here with a daily candle close. It looks pretty good. I do want to mark off this little sort of order block. I would have preferred this candle to come and grab liquidity before closing like that. That's a really good order block. This one's not as good, but we'll mark it off anyway. So we mark it right there. Nope. Right there. So that's the way I mark off my order block, just at the high of the red candle where price surpassed it. Now we came down very close to it, didn't quite reach it. I would like to see that get reached, but maybe we reach it in the near future. Low hanging fruit there. I could see a trend line on the daily there. Mark off from those highs all the way across those. So maybe price is going to go up there and hit that, which would be cool. Maybe we'll close a 4-hour higher high. Let's zoom into the 8-hour. Let's go down to the 8-hour. So down on the 8-hour, depends on how this closes, but we're kind of just seeing an ABC down, that leg matching that leg, and we may be coming down for that leg. So let me draw that out for you so that we can visualize it matching this leg up with this leg just on closing price. So then what we may see is this leg repeat sometime into the 5th, giving you the ultimate buy setup at 93,041 area. That's just assuming that this is some kind of weird ABC in the middle. So yeah, that might be a really good buy setup. Just take this wick out again, just to be a pain in the butt. And then that becomes either a wave 2 or a B wave. If that holds a support, stop loss goes down there if you want to catch a knife, or wait for a bounce, then your stop loss goes for the bounce. Generally what I'll do is wait for at least a 15-minute or a 1-hour uptrend to come out of this area. And then, you prefer to get it an hourly higher high or a 4-hour higher high, and then you can add to it as it goes up in your favor. So you could take a 15-minute higher high, higher low situation that'll eventually turn into the hourly higher high and add on the higher low in the 1-hour. That then gives you a 4-hour higher high. You can add on the 4-hour higher low until you're breaking some liquidity, start taking off some profit. But yeah, for now, just at a glance, this 8-hour kind of looks like this before repeating that leg down. Just at a glance. It might not even come and break that low, but it probably comes and takes these liquidities, but kind of expect it to take that low and come down to 93. Down to the 4-hour, still no difference. This leg does look like this leg. And a little ABC in the middle. Hopefully you can see it kind of the way I do. What we are having going on here, though, is this high in 26 minutes, this high may close higher than this, giving you a potential buy setup at this liquidity here if the closing price remains at a higher low. Now, if price comes down, wicks there, it may close above 95. That would be a buy setup. I would buy that. Stop loss would go at the low, and I would expect these liquidities to be taken after. If the price does not get down there, then this is your low, and then you want to look to buy support. You do have a higher high right there. This is how much higher your higher low is going to come. That might be the buy setup right there to take it up. So if you're following along on your chart, I would mark off that low. Mark it off over here. It's something like 94, probably 94K if I had to guess. I can't really see it in this area. But mark that area off because that's your previous support. It may act as support again. And then if price does come down there, to form a higher low on a 4-hour. Wait for a 15-minute to 1-hour uptrend to start out of there. Take it. Your stop loss becomes right there. See if you get something out of it. And if that level breaks, I would look for that daily order block to bounce price at 93. And we may be getting this as either a wave 1 or an A wave. And this will be a wave 2 or a B wave. And up you go. Probably enter into the 100,000 range. I think a 4-hour closure above these highs would make it even better. Even a breakout maybe. On a 4-hour higher high close there. Maybe fake out the trend line, come back to the daily open for a buy setup. If you get the higher high close. We're still trying to close above there. But if you close above there, equally good. There is some liquidity up here, so you might run that 99 and push back down and then push it, kind of wind up and go for it. Back on the 4-hour here, if we do decide to break that trend above, where can we target? This area. Maybe we can target here. If this ends up being the low and we're just going to start moving up from there, then we could target on closing prices 1-to-1, an extension at 101 to 103, somewhere in that pocket would be an area to watch. I would definitely watch that area, especially if this leg is repeating up here. And then price comes back down like that, and those measure properly. And watch for a large spike up, just like that, with the potential for this leg to repeat down here, giving you that as your A, B, C. And it may still be higher highs and higher lows, just like a channeling effect, as Elliott Wave would call it a wave 4, and you still push up for 5. If it indeed wants to go for a wave 5. I do have upper targets a little bit higher. That's what that red box is. That's my initial conservative target. That's why I still have that box on there. Another thing I want to discuss is a potential for an Elliott Wave trade setup that could extend a lot farther than many would expect. And that would be after having an extended move like this, you could have a consolidation, grab those liquidities, come back down for another shakeout, some kind of wave 4 that's a running flat, and out of that you get the extended 5th wave in wave 3, which would be 1, 2, this is all 3, this will be 4, and then you get, out of that you get a pop up for what looks like wave 5, but that's actually just wave 1 of an extended 5th wave. So let me put this in linear scale and we'll draw that out with the Elliott Wave labeling. So this, yeah, this is the way I was counting it. 1, it's very shallow. 2, this would be 3, you're running flat for 4, and then out of there comes an extended 5th wave that would usually equate to the same amount as wave 1 and 3, so it would look something like that, up to like 140, kind of before you know it. I'll label the ABC potentially as like a running flat, which is a very bullish correction. This could also come down if it wants to do that, but if you do see this type of price action, and then this leg up repeats, that could be extremely bullish, where you go up for what looks like wave 5, completing a 5-wave Elliott structure, and it just comes down a little bit, and then pops for a 3, 4, 5. So now I'll put this back in the log scale and put my little spin on it. Was to happen, and you get your little ABC. And then you just start matching legs. That one will match up like some kind of sideways choppy, holding above 100K before repeating this leg like that. Maybe extending up there, something like that, before this consolidation up here, before continuation push higher. Now that is ultra bullish scenario. I'm okay with this wave completing at the 128 area or even lower, 115. There are counts and ideas that say that that can be the top, but if price continues to push up, I am not going to get in its way. I will let it run. So this type of correction is the most bullish type of correction you can get. Probably take its time. It might take all the way to the middle of December to play all this out, but it'll be an excellent buy setup if you can get a higher high, higher low. Look for a buy out of there. Just something to consider. Another thing to consider is that your wave 1 coming out of there, wave 4 completed there. You're doing wave 1. This will be wave 2, and then your wave 3 just goes up and up and up. And that would be your extended wave 5 in wave 3. So that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You still got the leading diagonal that has 3, 4, and 5. So you wouldn't complete this until 170, 180K, maybe further. But it's one step at a time. Definitely don't get all that price action overnight. It takes time to develop, but something to potentially look forward to in the future. And that's why you don't fight against the trend and you just let yourself get stopped out. So if price wants to give you an expanded flat in Elliott wave terms, say price is making some kind of like A, B, C up to 101, and then you get price action that mimics that previous leg into the 10th of December or something like that. So you would try to buy down here, but it's no guarantee that it'll work. If you're trying to buy these lows to push up to there, then that's why I suggest taking 25% profit whenever you do break a level and look for another buy setup. But I have no problem getting into a trend that's already established. So if you're like me, then take a little bit of profit. Don't be shy. If you do have a hard time getting into trends, let it run, put your stop loss at break even, and let it stop you out. Just don't turn a winner into a loser. It's okay to turn a winner into a minimal gain, put your stop loss in profit. And you could let this thing come down to maybe double bottom around this area. And then if that price doesn't hold and you get some kind of flush, like 20% down, which would be an excellent buying opportunity, you're probably looking at 80K, 84, 85K. It might look something like this, be pretty sharp and scary for some, but if you get stopped out, then just let it ride down. But we try to look for the buy setups while we're in an uptrend. We expect more up as price is going up. Sure, you can short this thing if you do expect this wave pattern to play, but then you have take profits that have to be taken into account, and you may have to try to flip long there. But if you're short and you're in profit, you may have more difficulty doing that. Same thing down here. If you're in short and you're very much in profit, you're thinking, I'm going to let this thing run, whereas that's a potential buy setup for much, much higher. So same thing with here. You might just double bottom, and then it's time to go up. Something to watch for. Definitely watch your psychology. While the weekly is closing higher highs, higher lows, daily is closing higher highs and higher lows. Don't get too bearish. Don't get too shaken out, or I've seen people say it's time to be a little cautious here because it's 100K. I don't care if you give me a higher low and then you consolidate and you're giving me an uptrend on a lower time frame to get into. I'll take it every day, all day. I'll let my stop loss worry about it. My stop loss will take care of me. So Yeah, certain wave patterns to look for. If things are going to be really, really bullish, they're going to be really, really bullish. But overall, I am expecting my red box to get hit and then reassess from there. See how kind of all the other markets are holding up. But yeah, potential targets are up in the 128 area and potentially 175, 180 before it stops. So keep your stops tight. Hopefully those buy setups were helpful. Hopefully they make sense. I'm just kind of rambling. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at this point. Good luck. Keep your stops tight. Have a good night.